What's up, brothers? Today we're going to talk a little bit about semen retention versus semen intention and the subtle distinction between these two concepts, which actually there's a world of difference here. Semen retention implies retaining the energy, repressing, restraining, shoving it down. And oftentimes what can happen, just like a pressure cooker is the analogy I like to use. It's like pushing down all this pressure that just keeps building as we hang on to it until the pressure blows out sideways somewhere else or something blows up. There can actually be negative health effects to semen retention. You can actually start having manic episodes. You can have anxiety, you can have irritability, frustration, anger. You can actually have medical issues that can come up by hanging on to your seat for too long. And this isn't talked about in a lot of the men's sexual healing space. And so that's one of the reasons I've come forward and started using the word semen intention. Semen intention implies that we're not just restraining this energy endlessly. Sure, hanging on to this energy, as we learn about, right, in a lot of this world, brings us more life force, it brings us more energy, more vitality, more focus, more sensitivity, more intuition, this overall sense of well-being, as we know, as those of us who've been practicing it. But there is a space for releasing energy, if you look out in nature, I mean, if a river is dammed, if the water stays stagnant, if energy stays stagnant, it starts to become toxic. I would say the same thing is true with money. If money is just held and not put to use, it can start to look at all the nasty things that happen in relationships when money starts to just pool up. This energy is meant to move through us. And so the intention with a lot of our programs and training at Men's Sexual Mastery is not to restrain or repress or retain our life force energy, but it's to bring intention. It's to move the energy throughout the body, to circulate it, to have self-pleasure practices, to have partner practices, and qigong and there's a whole lot of different tools and techniques to move this energy. And this is what we do in our training. But it's really important to, if you're holding this energy, to be moving it. And guys ask me all the time, what is the ideal amount of time to hold your semen? And I would say that depends on who you are and your unique blueprint and disposition. It varies. For myself, generally, unless I'm practicing, I am usually practicing a lot of these sexual cultivation practices every day. But if I'm not, I usually won't go beyond a month of holding my semen without some form of a release. And when you do release it with intention. That's the invitation again. And so that can look like, bringing to mind what it is you're manifesting, what you're calling in, this new season, this new chapter of your life, and just manifesting, like bringing your vision into that outcome, your new business plan, maybe your new relationship, and releasing it. And the other invitation I make, and there's a lot of subtle dives I could go into here, but try to release only, give yourself permission to be edging and playing with your edge, as we talk about in the training. A lot of these, there's a whole long video I could go into in just edging dynamics, but use it in an edging session where you're right at your edge and see if you can sink the energy down, and you're just playing with your edge. And you start to, as you do this work, you definitely notice it's very mental when you ejaculate. It's like it ends up being a choice eventually as you get deeper into it. But bring yourself right to that edge where it's just, you can't almost stand it. The energy's about to explode, and you're still trying to release and relax and breathe and move the energy down. And just see what happens. Go into some uncharted territory. That's a perfect time to use semen intention and to release. Another powerful place to release semen is with a partner. I would say, hands down, there's something very generative about being with a partner. And there's almost like, I would say, in my firsthand experience and in the experiences of others, and some of my teachers talk about this, when you're communing with people in these deeply, these Taoist, like spiritual, sexual ways, even if you have an ejaculation, you've built up so much energy within you. And right now I feel my body's like going into like this eternal orgasmic energy. I like feel this tingling in my body. This is what I'm talking about. It builds up the energy, like having sex with a partner. And if you allow yourself not to be so rigid, like still play the game of holding on as long as you can. But if it comes up that you just are so in the moment and so lost in doing the best you can and you lose it, then lose it. Then, or not even lose it, gang it, intend it out, send it out, and like trust that the energy is not, it actually can be a net gain if you're having deep, powerful sexual experiences. And the other invitation too, along these lines, I'll mention is, saving your semen, letting your partner, if they want to gulp it down, that's awesome. If you want to gulp it down, that's some vital stuff. If you want to, you or your partner, like put it on your face, rub it on your face. It has such amazing minerals. And you're reabsorbing all those nutrients, right? All that vital life force, a lot of it. You can rub it on the bottoms of your feet, your hands, just anywhere on your body. The ancient geishas and I believe it's in Taiwan, that were like the white tantra masters. They'd say that some of these women were like in their 60s, and because they would always put the semen of the men that they worked with on their face, they said they would look like they were in their 20s and 30s when they're in their 60s and 70s. So that's just anecdotal, but I've read that and I've heard that before. So it is a powerful skincare product, and you can reabsorb that energy right afterwards. So the other thing I'll add too is after you have an ejaculation, there's some protocol you can follow. A lot of this is in our training, but just to mention a few of them, doing the testicular massage, the ball slaps, eating zinc and magnesium are big ones, and getting some testosterone flowing again, getting out and working out. You'll notice you have a lot less, maybe not a lot less, but a noticeable decrease in energy and vitality working out oftentimes, but that's okay. Just you're building it back up with more testosterone. So those are just a few protocol I recommend. Those are ways of living the way of semen intention. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and check out our training programs where we dive into this and an entire world of more information and tools and techniques and teachings and support and community and accountability, to not just learn this stuff as more information, but to actually implement it into your day-to-day life. And that's where the real changes take place. You gotta experience it really to believe it. So wishing you a blessed day, a beautiful path, and we will see you soon.